gobble, motherfucker.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my God!
Estrogen levels peaking. It's like she's in heat.
When are you gonna grow up, man? Chicks love cars. If you want to get into their pants, you better have a nice, hot Ferrari.
She's my hot Ferrari. Besides, I love my Mustang, which is a plug-in hybrid. It gets 100 mpg.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! I love my eyes!
Welcome to episode 39 of Schlock Talk, doing everything we can to ensure that we will be forever unemployable since 2013. I'm Gabe.
They let me out of the basement again this week. I'm Craig.
I'm Joel.
We have Lurker Jeff. He doesn't say anything. He just sits there.
Jeff. How you doing?
I'm Paul.
Amazingly, we found another white guy to be on the podcast.
We're finally getting the representation Schlock Talk demands.
It's because nobody else wants to be friends with us. They've heard an episode. They're like, you guys are assholes.
Schlock Talk? Yeah, that sounds like something middle-aged white men would do.
Fair enough.
Those niggas is crazy.
Oh my god. So let's see. Oh, so today's movie is Re-Animator from 1985, directed by Stuart Gordon. It's available on Blu-ray from Image Entertainment. I think we watched it on Netflix. This is maybe my favorite movie ever, you guys. Just so you know.
Next to what? Fucking
I do love this film.
Evil Clutch.
Yeah. I saw this film when it first came out.
It doesn't have a shrunken head cuckoo clock.
I was like 19.
But it'll do.
We had to drive to San Francisco to go see it because it was one of the first films to not have a rating.
Yeah.
So it was like NC-17 and it played in like one theater in the whole state. And we're like, we gotta go see this. It's subversive.
Yes. And so we watched the R-rated version. I did want to say we watched the R-rated version of the on Netflix. The unrated version I have it on VHS, of course. Is actually a few minutes shorter because they cut out a couple of dialogue scenes, but there's more Bush.
Why didn't you bring the tape?
I probably should have. And the scene, we'll get there, but the scene where the head is going down to pleasure the Meg character,
I don't know.
It's longer. Like he gets. Because, he
there's
gets kind of distracted.
Better camera angles.
Extended and longer.
Yes.
I see what you're doing.
Better camera angles would be turning the camera around. I think that's the way.
Down to the pool of your own vomit.
Oh, Craig, I completely disagree. And I addressed that in tonight's intro.
You go ahead.
There are a lot of people that think Re-Animator is such a tremendous movie because of Jeffrey Combs' frenetic, unhinged performance. Other fans like
dude, it's the cat. This movie goes to the cat.
Yeah, this guy is like the dark version of the Nutty Professor.
Other fans like the off-the-wall gore.
Wait, no, the other dark version. Yes. When I say the dark, I don't mean the Eddie Murphy version of the Nutty Professor. I mean the H.P. Lovecraft version of the Nutty Professor.
It's just the guy who just said niggas. Other fans like the
Hey guys, there's minorities knocking at the door and wanting to come in. Should I let them in?
I don't know. They said Black Lives Matter? Probably better not. Other fans like the off-the-wall gore and disgusting body horror hilariousness. Still others enjoy director and co-screenwriter Stuart Gordon's sly wink to the audience as the movie's performers play everything as straight as possible and deadly serious in what is an otherwise low-budget freak show of a flick. I think all of these elements are awesome too, but what makes Re-Animator the obviously greatest movie ever made is something that even the most ardent Herbert West devotees miss.
Beheaded head.
It makes one hell of a strong case for indulging in the ancient, barely acceptable erotic art of necrophilia.
That's not acceptable? Have I been left out of the loop?
Well, we're not talking about the people at this table.
Is this supposed to be? This is obvious. Is this like a necrophilia
What about the
fantasy?
corpse
Is
on
this
the
what's
table?
going through a necrophile's? Is that what I'm using the word? Yeah,
It's actually
necrophile's
promoting.
head?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've made it abundantly clear that outside of perhaps Barbarian Queen's Dawn Dunlap, Barbara Crampton, who plays Meg Halsey in this episode's movie, is the finest B-movie scream queen of the 80s, beyond all doubt. Whether she's slutting things up in Re-Animator, whoring things up in Fraternity Vacation, or tramping things up in From Beyond, where cinematic circumstances need to be upped, Barbara Crampton will be there, her modest but pert bosoms and fluffy, unkempt 80s bush.
Which movie did she slut up?
This one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
poured
she's
up
a
the
real
other
whore in this one.
Tramped up the other.
Her pert bosoms and unkempt 80s bush, more than willing to ensure that both
He
the
repeated that
temperature,
portion on purpose, didn't he? He's just
both the
like,
temperature of
Which
the
movie
room.
did she Lady of the Night up?
In your notes is unkempt bush bold text.
Italicized.
Emphasis.
Ensure that both the temperature of the room in which the film is being viewed and my pants lap region rise in equal measure. Remember, she's the world record
2
holder.
degrees? What?
Hey guys, there's a reason he's laughing.
Remember, she's the world record holder for non-Japanese actress penetrated by the most tentacles and covered in the most gallons of alien semen.
What's the reference for that?
Actually, I wasn't even going to say, but I said we'll talk more about that second achievement when we cover From Beyond.
When we cover her in Alien Semen.
Amazingly, Paul once said that Ms. Crampton reminded him of Shelley Long and spent the next 4 months in the hospital, and Portland saw a statistically significant dip in the number of missing hobos. You see, Re-Animator's plot is just a take on the classic monkey's paw narrative, leading to the imminent demise of Megan Halsey.
She's got like an Olivia Newton-John meets
Yeah.
Shelley Long kind of vibe.
Oh,
It's kind of like a Xanadu kind of thing going on.
I'll Xanadu.
it's a monkey's paw.
Don't.
Monkey's paw narrative, leading to the imminent demise of Meg Halsey, only to be brought back to life with Herbert West's glowing reagent concoction as the credits roll.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
That was the end of the movie.
Sure, she's most likely now bleeding from the mouth, a mindless, bloodthirsty murder machine.
But that turns Gabe on.
But she's definitely still hot, as the previous 90 minutes have reinforced over and over again. Whether she's in a tight Angora sweater, being hypnotized by the movie's villain, or strapped nude to a morgue dissection table and having her nipples sucked by a living severed head. I don't think it even needs saying that zomboners are assured.
You know what?
That's
I don't know
horrible.
why I asked you to bring the tape so I could see the extra bush footage.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure there's probably GIFs of it on your phone. Am I right?
Wallpaper.
The way he emphasizes Bush so much makes me wonder if he just jerks off to Wookiee scenes in Star Wars.
Do you think that Gabe donated as charity the digital remastering of every frame of that scene for the bush?
So as research for this movie, for this show, Barbara Crampton did a Playboy spread in 1986 or 87 on the set of From Beyond.
Nice.
That was shot on the set of From Beyond.
Wow.
So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, so that's my intro. Didn't take much research. I had it all upstairs. Anyway,
And apparently downstairs.
This is something he could have just completely spurred out at a party, ad lib, on the fly. You want to talk about Re-Animator? Let me tell you about Re-Animator.
That's how he
because
picks
that's
up-
on my mind all the time.
That's how he picks up on chicks. Dead chicks at the morgue.
That's your
I
fucking-
literally picked them up.
That's your internet dating profile. Interested in women, must like Re-Animator.
We don't mean chicks as in women. We mean dead baby birds that he has picked up at the morgue.
Dead
It's kind of
poultry.
wrong.
So Re-Animator opens.
And even those are kind of loose.
Well, he's doing.
I missed the whole thing. I'm like trying to do like 4 things at once. Okay, so Re-Animator opens at the University of Zurich, where a professor and 2 policemen are pounding on the door where screaming can be heard inside. And Herbert West is standing over the body of his mentor, Dr. Hans Gruber, which
Herr Gruber.
pointed out that's the bad guy from Die Hard, right?
Hans Gruber.
Apparently, he lived a very active career before he went into medicine.
Before he went to terrorism.
He turned his
Which
back
came
on the
first?
game.
This movie's 85.
85. So this is like 2 years before
Die Hard.
Okay. Because he retired into terrorism after being a reanimating crazy person.
So Herbert
Good
West,
career move.
who is played by Jeffrey Combs, the great Jeffrey Combs. Herbert West is standing over the body of his mentor, Hans Gruber, who is writhing in pain on the floor and screaming.
I didn't finish yet.
And Gruber stands up just as his eyes explode and he falls over dead.
Total Recall style.
And the lady says, "You killed him." And Jeffrey Combs, Herbert West, says, "No, I gave him life."
Not much of one. It should be said.
So
I injected him with life.
yeah.
Yeah, they bust in like, "Oh mein God."
Mein
That's
Führer.
how he talks to his wife when they make love.
Oh mein God.
Well, here's pictures.
you with life.
So yeah, there's Barbara Crampton from Beyond, like in the outfit from Beyond.
Pass it around.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm glad you can enjoy this with us, listeners.
Yes. We'll
Sorry.
post them on the website. Oh,
Wait.
wait a minute.
Was From Beyond just a straight up
What
porno?
website?
No, From Beyond's kind of the spiritual sequel to
Hey, I've been
this.
learning HTML.
Oh,
Have you?
okay. She's just wearing some kink
I
outfit.
learned how to make brackets and change.
She's
the
just wearing a
color.
kink outfit for the
Headline.
Playboy shoot. I thought she would have had a theme of the movie, but I guess she was just on the set.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Barbara,
It's
the
like-
movie's over. We told you.
Well.
You off limits.
It's only Playboy. They're not going to do anything too explicit.
We can do From Beyond pretty soon.
Might as well.
Okay. So during the credits, we see that Barbara Crampton is in the movie.
Oh, he
and
thought
I-
you said from behind.
Yes. And I will need to take a quick break to go clean the dick snot out of my pants.
Wow.
There's an image no one. Listeners, be thankful that you do not know what Gabe looks like. Be very thankful.
Oh yeah, we don't have a working website, so yeah, thankfully you don't know.
You're welcome, America.
So sometime later at Miskatonic Medical School, third-year resident Dan Kane struggles to revive a fat woman, but fails and takes her body to the morgue.
Her heart's too full of McDonald's.
Actually, Jeff and I had McDonald's on the way up.
Wow.
Okay, so I got to take a quick side note here. They have the all-day breakfast at McDonald's now.
What the shit?
Yeah.
Hey.
No fucking McGriddles.
Yeah, it's like everything
after
but.
10:30. After 10:30, there's no McGriddles.
The griddles are shit, anyways.
They're what?
They're the shit. And that-
Oh, I thought you said shit.
they are shit.
They're shit, but they're the shit.
Yeah,
No,
The
I don't like
shit.
McGriddles.
you don't?
No.
Then they're shit.
Oh.
You don't mean
Egg
they're the
McMuffins,
shit.
man. Sausage, egg McMuffins.
Oh, no.
Who
Yeah.
wants syrup on a sandwich?
It doesn't have syrup. It has
It's just a
little
pancake, like a fucking pan. You have fucking meat between
It's got, like,
two
little,
pancakes.
maple injections in the pancake buns.
Yeah,
Little
it's like little
Is
reanimation
that a sexual
inside.
euphemism?
no. You haven't had that many beers. Why are you mispronouncing words already?
Euphemism? Euthanasia?
I'm not as sure I get your peroxidave.
He's drinking out of a bottle of what looks like shampoo.
You've had like a beer and a quarter.
It doubles as a butt plug.
I know.
I know you know.
So while Dan is down in the morgue, we meet Dr. Hill, who is using what appears to be an arc welder to burn a hole in a dude's head.
I think it
Big
looks like
welder.
a Christmas light on the end of a string that he was just pointing
Yeah.
at someone. It was pretty pathetic.
He's drilling into someone's head, and he dips like this super long Q-tip in. It's pretty, like, I think it's
Yeah.
the grossest part of the whole movie, to be honest with you. And he also runs into Dean Halsey.
The Q-tip.
Yeah, the
Really
Q-tip
got
into
under
the head.
Gabe's nails
That was
there.
gross. That was gross.
Yeah, decapitated heads giving oral sex. Shit
Hilarious.
Classic. Fucking cinema gold.
He also runs into Dean Halsey with the new student Herbert West from the prologue of the film, and West confronts Hill about plagiarizing the late Dr. Gruber's work. And it's clear that they don't get along right off the bat.
Oh, they've got some fucking obsession about brain death times.
Well, that guy's head is like 5 sizes too.
Dr. Hill is great.
Yeah.
He's
It's
like
like
such a good
The
villain.
man
like
with a
Abe-
face carved out of a tree.
It's like if Abe Lincoln got a chin extension because his head just wasn't big enough. That's who he would be.
And so Dan meets up with the dean's daughter, Meg, who he then bangs, and we get the pleasure of seeing Barbara Crampton's boobs and butt.
Yeah, it took like 5 seconds of like segue to get to that portion of time.
Well, it was weird because when the scene opened up, he was putting on like one of those tear off these number things and they would used to do for advertising. So he puts it up there and he says, "Looking for a roommate to live in our basement."
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, we just see this blonde girl come out and start kissing him, and he's fucking like 2 seconds later.
Yeah,
Like, does he know her?
I like how the address was like 666 darkness or something.
Dark No Hope Lane.
And so Herbert arrives at the door, and he's asking to move into the apartment Dan has for rent. And of course he asks to see the basement and chooses to move in against Megan's wishes.
He like pulls out this wad of cash for some reason, just like a fat roll of $100 bills. He's just handed over to this guy.
I'll pay for 3 years' rent.
He's trying to make it rain.
Yes.
That's right.
In class the next day, Dr. Hill shows everyone how to cut open a skull and tells them brain death is irreversible, but Herbert interrupts and confronts Hill, who tells him it's going to be a pleasure to fail him.
Yeah, after
he-
snapping pencils for half an hour.
Half the budget went to Ticonderoga's.
Yeah, it's like, was it first name West? Dr. West?
Herbert.
Herbert West was just fucking trying to show off that he's been working out. And he just snaps these number 2 pencils all the time to try and be interrupting. It's a very strange way of acting out, Herbert.
He's very
has.
insolent.
I would break you like a number 2.
See this? This is your penis. I'm doing this.
So later that night at dinner, Dr. Hill makes it obvious that he, like the rest of us, would like to bang Meg.
Yeah.
And he makes a toast to her supple rack.
Was that the exact wording used?
I don't think it was.
Yeah, like in
but
front of her father, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Yes.
It was-
Here's to your quite lovely daughter. Oh, yes, the fruits of womanhood are surely blossoming on her.
Keep in mind, I found it to be gross, and I just did an introduction about how I'd have sex with her even if she was dead.
Gabe would pop his own head off for the chance.
Yes.
What does it take to get her attention?
So Meg confronts Dan about Herbert and tells him that even the cat, Rufus, is scared of West. And they look for the cat, and Megan even goes into Herbert's room where she finds Rufus in the fridge dead. Herbert,
I want to point out that sometimes it's really expensive to be in a residency program, and food can be a little bit of a cost. So sometimes you eat your roommate's cat.
Spice up your ramen, your mac and cheese. Get a little protein in there.
I did you a favor. What is it, $30 a bag for cat food, and you feed the thing every fucking month?
Oh man, macaroni and calico. That's
That's the
best.
very. That is the weirdest fucking thank you I've ever gotten from someone. I did you a favor.
and so Herbert explains that he found the cat with his head stuck in a jar from the garbage. And Dan threatens Herbert, who then in turn threatens to tell the dean that he's sleeping with Meg.
Hey guys, Jeff's here.
Hey, Jeff.
I like it, Jeff the Lurker. He's Jeff the Lurker.
Why do like 3/4 of the people we bring on this show not talk?
Do I need like a package of Tic Tacs in my pocket or something?
Remind me of the guy on the Tom Green show who would just sit over in the corner and laugh. Remember that guy? He had the blonde guy that was his co-host, and then he had the other guy who would sit and drink beer and laugh.
That was like Ed
Unfortunately,
McMahon on...
the only people that laugh at our jokes are the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Jeff's been laughing.
Yeah, but it's
I have
weird.
to be kind.
It's like a laughing
He
without
fakes it.
opening his mouth, though.
It's like an inverted wheeze. That's what he's actually doing.
That's really disturbing, Joel. that night, Dan hears a shriek and realizes it's coming from the basement. And he breaks in and falls down the stairs. And Herbert is being attacked by a cat, one who is suspiciously similar to Rufus.
And immobile, and just sitting on his back.
Glued to his back.
Yes. Someone took a staple gun to that poor cat and just popped it into him.
It looks like that cat, that dead cat those guys turned into like a drone.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like in that splayed out kind of position, like just like Velcroed to his back. It's pretty sweet.
That would be so fucking awesome to fuck with people with.
It's a real cat. So Dan gets attacked by Rufus and manages to splatter it against the wall, and Herbert laughs as he collapses to the ground.
That scene is the best. There's like chunks of meat that roll down the wall.
He throws the cat against the wall, and then like he's just on the ground shivering from fright.
Yeah.
And then Herbert's like, behind you! And he turns around and he's like, gotcha! And he just starts cracking the fuck up. It's like a joke only a serial rapist would get.
That's why Gabe's
Or a necrophile. Or a necrophile. So Herbert explains that he's able to reanimate dead beings. And Dan says he doesn't believe him. But he then injects Rufus, who is more or less cut in half, and he comes back to life. Just as Megan comes into the room and screams, which is also very funny. Oh, excuse me. Dan talks to the dean about Herbert's experiments, but the dean tells him he and Herbert are to be expelled. And that he tells Dean he's going to cut off his financial aid.
And what a dick.
He's like, you're going to write an apology.
It's like he goes to the dean. Basically, he's like being a narc.
Yeah. Hey, we did some fucked up shit, Doc. Like,
he's
I'm
also
coming
trying
clean.
to like share this like huge discovery with the dean, and the guy's just like,
You're full of shit! You're full of shit! I knew it! It's
You're
like,
expelled.
write a letter of
How
apology.
dare
You
you
better
tell
not
me.
have used any of company resources to do this. Quit fucking my daughter, and I'm taking away your funding.
The most galling point was write a letter of apology.
Yeah. The dean does not suffer Re-Animator's to me.
I get
That's the guy
people
you're
like
talking
you
to, yeah.
every year. And let me tell you.
Yeah, he does say something like that. We see this all the time. People who can't handle the pressure of medical school.
Most of them have a surname of Frankenstein, but this guy's different.
So Dan and Herbert sneak into the morgue to find a fresh corpse to inject with the reanimation juice. And they find one that dropped dead just that evening.
Yeah, they had to reject the burn victim, the meatball, and
The shotgun to the face.
The shotgun to the face. These were all poorly
The
designed.
fatty.
all of which come into play later.
Yes. And so
they pick Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
They took Lou Ferrigno's Hulk.
After what happened with the cat, maybe that's not advisable.
Let's get the roided guy. He looks like he'd be a good one to try.
Why do you think this would be a good specimen? Because he's huge. He's bigger than us. He could kick both our asses
Yeah, he
and
looks
take
like
our
Lou
lunch
Ferrigno.
money.
He'll probably stutter. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, you gotta bring me back to life. Not cool.
Special ed and dead. That's how he likes it.
This is like a new cop show.
On Fox.
A retarded guy and a zombie cop.
Yeah, we got a 557 going on down there on Halsey Avenue. Oh, you heard that? Someone's breaking into a pizza parlor, Lou. Not cool.
So just as they are injecting the body, Halsey and Meg arrive at the hospital to try and find Dan. And as they're getting ready to leave, the corpse comes to life and attacks Dan and Herbert before smashing the door onto Halsey and then biting off its fingers.
Like the whole scene was like, here, hold this tape recorder against your will and help me perform these experiments against your better will and better judgment.
So here's this huge naked motherfucker running around, pushes the door down on top of the guy, gets on top of the door and like jumps
Just
on
starts
it.
jumping up and down like a monkey. Like,
And then he holds him up against the wall, and our good like Dean guy, for some reason, thinks it's a good idea to stick his hand into the zombie's mouth because that's going to work out
didn't
well.
make a whole lot of sense.
How did that
He was
thought-
forced to do it. He just did it himself.
Hey, you're trying to bite me. Let me prevent that.
I want to know how that thought worked itself in between the screaming and pure panicking and pants shitting he was doing at that exact fucking moment.
How could this get worse? Let me put my hand in his mouth.
Maybe if I subdue his tonsils, I'll be okay.
Well, his
I'm a
anus
doctor.
looks
I'm
really tight. I guess I have to go in through the mouth.
So Herbert winds up stopping the zombie with a bone saw goes through from his back to his chest.
And again, this is the part of the movie that lost me completely. It's a bone saw, not a bone drill. It doesn't work that way.
This was really a bone of contention with Craig.
It
Yeah.
was. It was.
Craig really had a bone to pick with this scene.
It's ruined the movie for Craig.
It was a real bonehead scene that they worked into this movie.
This is not bona fide science.
Hey, I'm getting a boner.
Okay, not really a pun. Maybe a confession, but sure.
Paul just boned his cover. Wait,
Yes.
My cover is boned. Oh boy.
So Herbert convinces Dan to inject the now dead Halsey with the reagent, and Megan is able to sneak away to the morgue as Halsey's eyes reopen on the operating table. And the security guard comes in, and Herbert explains that Halsey kind of barged his way into the morgue.
Herbert makes up a fucking 4-year-old's excuse. Like, didn't he say we found him that way?
We
Kind of does.
Yeah.
we came in and he was agitated and he just grabbed a corpse randomly and decided to shake it down. And then he went into the corner to cry and, oh my God, Mr. Security Guard, why do you have such massive man bosoms?
Yeah.
So Megan tries to comfort her father as he cowers in the corner, now a mad imbecile.
You know, they nailed the whole security guard thing, though.
That fucking security guard was awesome.
Yes.
The way he was constantly masturbating to his porn mag.
Yeah, at one
It was
point-
Boudoir or some shit like
he's
that.
reading Boudoir magazine, and then he like looks at it and like kind of chews on his cigar for a second. It's
Yeah.
like, time for a break.
You know this movie was a little old-timey because, you know, how often do you see security guards smoking in the middle of a hospital? Does that not seem like a bad idea to anyone else?
So Dr. Hill convinces Megan that Halsey has experienced some sort of neurological event, and she signs for her father to receive exploratory surgery. And she confronts Dan about what happened, and Dan says, he's not insane. He's dead.
No.
No!
You're crazy.
She does a little pushing her fists against his chest kind of thing because it's so
Don't do
dramatic.
that. You'll make gay ball.
Oh!
Sorry, guys, I'm sweating a lot. I'm gonna have a hard
Now,
time
I'm
reading
trying to
these
do
notes.
the closed mouth laughing thing. All I'm doing is getting snot shot out of my nose.
At least it's coming out of your nose this time.
So later that night, Dr. Hill comes to the guy's house and tells Herbert that he knows that Halsey is really dead. And we learn that Hill has the power to hypnotize people as he causes Herbert to hand over all of his research.
Well, is this? Well, I'm gonna say hypnotized. He was
was
blackmailing
blackmailing
Herbert. Yeah, because he says he came in there and he's like, I recognize that's a fucking microscope. So does every 6th grade fucking kid in public
That was
school.
great.
Yeah.
I know what this is. Ha ha ha. So do we, and we're not even in medical practice.
But he does kind of later, like, kind of mesmerize people. He tries to do it to Meg. He does it to the dean. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I like that scene where he's like hitting on Meg in front of her like
People are
crazy
just
father.
so blown away by the size of his head. They're taken aback.
It is, man. I'm pretty sure his mom fucked Mr. Ed. And it was a baby mom.
I'm pretty sure his mom died during childbirth.
The head
would think
completely,
so.
the head completely tore her pelvis to pieces. She's bleeding internally. There's no way to save her.
An elephant
You
can have sex
bastard!
with this woman and not feel enough friction.
They had to do
It's
a
weird.
C-section with a chainsaw to get him out. They had to
Jaws
use the
of
jaws
life.
of life, yeah.
And so while Hill is looking through a microscope, Herbert clubs him with a shovel and cuts off his head. He has the idea to reanimate his head and body separately.
Well, he
Yeah,
didn't
and-
inject his body though, right?
He did.
He did, okay.
He injected it like in his sternum.
Okay, that would explain it then.
Though apparently, earlier didn't they say like they had to inject it directly into the brain, but now it works in the sternum?
Well,
He's like, I've never tried parts before.
Yeah,
Science.
and I thought he was going to start with the head, but I missed the scene where he like went and stabbed him in the chest with the
And
Yeah.
Re-Animator Kool-Aid.
I like how he like keeps the head propped up, but he takes one of those like those little spiky things you
Yeah,
put your
for
messages on,
putting notes on.
and just stabs the guy's head onto it.
How many glow sticks were cut open to make the fluid in this film?
Oh, maybe 10.
there's a lot of glowy fluid. So a bit later, when the head reanimates, it calls Herbert a bastard, and then the body sneaks up behind him and knocks him unconscious.
Yeah, in a total cartoony. I didn't see that one coming.
So Dan and Meg go to the insane asylum part of the hospital, I guess. So
The padded
Hill's
room is in his office.
But it's in the
Hill's
back of his
office.
motherfucking office.
Yeah,
Like,
he has a padded room like in his office.
You know, some people want to have like a bar built into their office. Other people, padded cell.
I'm sorry, but that's my personal
where he goes
personal
to-
observatory, and things get a little crazy back there. You
He
see
goes
what
in
I
there
did
to
there?
jerk off in the corner when he's feeling sad about his face.
Meg and Dan, they break into Hill's office and they're looking through his things, And Dan finds a folder filled with press clippings, swatches of fabric, and a lock of Megan's hair inside.
Yeah, what does the press clipping say?
It says Megan
She's like
Halsey voted sophomore
cutest,
sweetheart.
Yeah, sophomore sweetheart. Like, oh, think about it. This guy was in his late 60s when he read that article.
Yes. And so thankfully there were no parties. Holy
yeah,
shit.
thankfully there were
Oh,
no
I'm sorry,
parties.
I'm sorry.
What the hell does that come up with?
Thankfully there were no panties.
Oh.
Parties. I always get
Who
those
was
two.
celebrating-
I always get those two mixed up.
Who was celebrating the
Type
recent...
my notes. This is why I need to type my notes. Thankfully there were
Honey,
no
are we
Guys, am I late for the panty?
Honey, are we going to that Halloween panty tonight?
Hey, who wants to come to the decapitation party? I hear you get a lobotomy when you go through the door. It's kind of like your stamp.
Thankfully, there were no panties because we're on a roll, and I'd hate to have to leave the room to clean up again.
It's sad that half the glowing fluid in this movie was actually just what Gabe put on the screen during the watch.
I think it's cancer or something, but quit asking so many fucking annoying questions.
So Dan goes back and finds Herbert at the house, and they compare notes and realize that Hill has lobotomized Halsey, and that he intends to kidnap Megan for
So,
himself.
speaking of stains, I'd like to point out that Gabe's notes look like they're covered in country gravy.
Yeah. Where did the black pepper grains come from?
Tell me that's sausage.
When his wife says, "Come like a dirty bastard," that's what she does.
With the assistance of his headless body, Hill injects his head with more reagent and then mesmerizes Halsey to do his bidding.
Yeah, I like the fact that he sends his body over to get blood packets to squeeze into the tray his head is sitting in for no particular reason.
I really like the reaction when he's squeezing in the blood.
Yeah, he's really happy about that. It's like he couldn't scratch his back in one spot.
And we should say that the body is carrying around his head in like a dissection tray, like you'd pin the frog down to. And
I thought it was something you'd bake cakes in or something like that.
No, it's like a dissection tray that has like the wax
like
in the bottom of it that you can
ice
pin.
bucket, I think.
Whatever it is.
He was keeping the cat in it before he was like, get the fuck rid of this thing and put his head in there.
And so Hill then sneaks into the morgue while the security guard is off masturbating to Boudoir magazine.
Yeah, the security guard kind of sees the body with the plastic dummy head on the top of it and a surgeon
Like, no, it
mask on.
fucking made eye contact with him, didn't it? It's like, hey, I'm gonna go put this...
Well,
I gotta go
he
do
kinda
human
sneaks around
science.
the corner,
But then the
and
ear's
then
on the floor.
The ear falls off, which alerts the guard, and the guard's like, "Is that you, Dr. Hill?" He's all, "Of course it is."
Why would it be anybody else carrying a
He's
head
carrying
bag?
the head in the bag, and then we noticed as he's getting the head out of the bag, there's two little eye holes.
That's the attention to detail that I love about this movie.
Yes.
Kind of makes up for the bone stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
They did a little bit of research.
No.
And so Hill sneaks into the morgue while the security guard is masturbating, and he pulls out several of the corpses from the cooler. So
Well, the security guard is still masturbating.
And the meatball and the burn victim and the shotgun to the head.
What is it about guarding dead people that makes you kind of stiff?
I think it was the Boudoir magazine that was making him kind of stiff.
Well, at one point
so?
he wants to look under the sheet when they're sneaking Herbert in because he wants to see if it's like a hot chick.
Okay, he's right for the job.
He is perfect for the job.
He's
I
gonna
think we
protect
got
those
work
bodies.
for you.
So Dan rushes to Megan's, and she tells him she still loves him, just as her zombie father breaks in and kidnaps her. And Halsey lies Megan's body on the table as Hill's bodiless head leers at her naked body.
Yeah, having her own dad undress her in that way was just, icing on the cake.
And so I didn't make actual notes about that just because
he was busy changing
I was
his
doing
pants.
some other things.
It's
But-
just because Gabe is always speechless during that
So
part.
she-
Shut up, you're owning it.
So she wakes. I did make my wife stop on the laptop for a minute to watch this scene.
Wow. This is what Gabe considers foreplay in his household.
And so he pulls her nightgown off, and so she's lying there naked, and Hill's head is right next to her in the tray, and he's like,
His eyes are all wide and
he just like
leering at
looks
her.
there and gets this like wide-eyed look and this big smile that spans ear to ear.
You're pretty sure the neck dangly parts of sinew that are hanging there are getting stiff all of a sudden.
And he tells Meg that he's always admired her beauty.
I've always loved you.
Then he sticks his tongue in her ear. Oh, I should say she woke up. She woke up and knocked the fake head off of the body, which was hilarious.
She got one arm free.
He then sticks his tongue in her ear, and then he sucks on her titty.
Okay, literally, is there like a worse way to wake up?
Yeah. And her dad is just there in the corner with his shirt wide open staring at them. It's like the worst day ever.
Man, outside of having Gabe wake up to Gabe sitting on your face, there is nothing.
I hope she planned on calling in sick to work that day because I have a feeling she was going to get some bad news there too.
And then he slowly has the body lower his head between her legs. But then Herbert breaks in, and he finds Dan unconscious at the Halseys. Oh, I did make notes about this. I'm sorry, but anyway.
Back up. Forget what we just said.
He finds Dan unconscious at the Halseys, and then they head for the morgue. And Hill tells Herbert... I'm sorry. That whole scene is it's one of my favorite movie scenes of all time. She's screaming, and then Herbert breaks in and he says, here you are canoodling with a bubble-headed co-ed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Tristing.
Tristing, yeah.
With a bubble-headed co-ed. Thank you, Lurker Jeff. And
hey, guys, Jeff's here.
He shows up out of nowhere.
He does. So Hill tells Herbert that he has a plan to stop them, and all the corpses rise to life and slam Herbert down onto the table.
Bam!
And
yeah,
Hill,
he's saying I had a plan for and he's like, so did I.
Yeah.
It's just like he has two of his magic glow sticks, and he lifts them up to try to stab it, the head, but the body's like shifting the head around so he can't catch it.
Oh God, it's so I can't catch it. Where's it going? It's unpredictable.
Suddenly he becomes the world's worst globetrotter at that point.
I knew I should have practiced Pong before I came over.
So Hill tells Herbert that he plans to create a laser drill lobotomized army under his thrall, but Meg cries to her father, which causes a spell over him to be broken. And Herbert takes the opportunity to start overdosing Hill's body, and the Halsey zombie gouges out Hill's eyes and crushes his head. And this is another great scene because he throws the head up against the wall. It makes like this big wet splat on the wall, it goes, like
in front of the security guard.
Right next to the security guard.
Yeah, like the security guard's walking back from finishing the job, and he's just like, nope, turns right around and goes back to the bathroom.
He's like buckling his pants.
He decides to leave him open because, man, that's a hot scene going on in there.
And so the intestines of Hill's overdosed body spring to life and start to strangle Herbert as the zombies tear apart Halsey, which is also a cool scene. It's like backlit, and they're just like dismembering him.
Yeah, he's being attacked by the burn victim, the shotgun to the head victim, the obese woman.
Some old grandma with floppy titties.
Yes. The obese woman and grandma floppy titties.
Clearly,
that's another new cop show.
Clearly, she died from being too floppy.
Wasn't that what it was listed as in the credits?
Floppy grandma.
So Dan carries Megan lithe but lifeless body. Oh, okay.
No,
so
she's
I
still
should
alive
say,
at that point.
yeah. And one of the zombies strangles Meg just as she and Dan are about to escape on the elevator.
It was burn victim.
It was the burn. No, it was shotgun.
No, burn victim. He had all the singed arm. Yeah, singed half
Oh,
of his
okay.
body.
Right.
Shotgun
guy was the one who was like
outside the hospital,
like letting
and then
a
he reaches in his
blood
head.
trail like drip from his lip and sucking it up at the last minute, like the bully used to do to Gabe on the playground.
Actually, did used to do that to my brother.
Only it wasn't spit.
Ooh,
How he sucks that back in, though.
wow, that's an incredibly
Muscle control I lack.
that's an incredibly freaky superpower. You could be a Stan Lee superhero.
What did we call that? It's a prehensile dong.
Massive suction.
So he chops the arm off of the burn victim, but it's too late. Meg is dead, and so Dan carries her lithe but lifeless body to the ER and tries to revive her unsuccessfully. I should say we get to see her tits again.
Yeah, I also like how in the elevator when the guy is like strangler to death, he's like, "Hey, bro, coming through. I gotta get the axe. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Just walking
She's
through."
being strangled, and he just like kind of like, "Oh, I'll be right back with help, honey."
Yeah.
He doesn't really run or anything like that. He just kind of slowly saunters past.
Looks at the break glass in case of emergency, and is trying to find out how to get in there.
There are at least 3 scenes of people like having to break glass.
Yeah, that's right. They broke the glass on the door, and then Herbert broke the glass
to get the bone saw.
Yeah.
And then everyone, so he's unable to revive Meg, even with the, everybody clear, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'm a doctor.
Everyone leaves the operating room, and Dan kisses Meg and tells her he loves her, and then takes the reagent out of the bag. And I like the way they did this little gag. They like focus in on just the little green bit of the reagent and the rest of the screen is black, and you see it squeezed down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was artsy, Gabe.
It was artsy. I liked it.
Yeah, there was
the
this John Ritter movie
place.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Where there was a scene where he's wearing a glow-in-the-dark condom.
Right.
But he's having an affair with somebody's wife, and then like the husband comes in with a glow-in-the-dark condom. And it's literally, you're just seeing the condoms.
Yeah.
And it's like a fight scene, and they're bouncing all around.
Paul remembers this vividly.
Oh, yeah.
So he injects her with the reagent, and then she screams as the credits roll. That's the end of the movie. I think Craig even liked this movie.
That's a strong word. Like is a strong
Tolerated.
word. I tolerated this movie. That's fair.
It was
It's
tolerant.
like, I like this.
You were tolerant.
I like this as opposed to having a rat cage strapped to my genitalia and having it forced to eat its way out through me.
Through any orifice? Is that what they said in
Ilsa?
This is one of my favorite movies ever.
It's
This
great.
is a great fucking movie.
And it all like,
it went there.
It did go there, and we should see the unrated version at some point.
You
Oh.
think?
Yes.
That's the extra bush scene, right?
Yeah. More bush. There's more bush.
Can we Google the size of Dr. Hill's head so we know?
Yeah, that's
legitimately how
crazy.
big that
That's some
motherfucker's
Guinness
head
World
was.
Book of Records shit right
He has
there.
a gigantor head. It's
He's like right up there with that big chin dude who was in the samurai
I like
cop.
that one quite a bit. We're all looking at the Playboy pictures of from Barbara Crampton from about 1987.
She was a thing.
Would you say he has a bigger,
Is this from Beyond
a longer
too?
head than the guy with the big chin? From
I think
the
it's on
samurai
the
cop
set.
movie?
This
I
movie
would
was
say the
good,
mass
too.
of those two guys' heads are probably
It's been forever since I've seen
Pretty
it.
fucking big.
But
Robert Zadar.
in
Yeah.
college,
Yeah, Zadar.
Oh.
If they were to somehow make a fucking superhead with Robert Zadar's fucking mandible and that guy's everything
else.
above,
Such was the birth of Jane.
call it the head.
I have Zedar. It's like a gaydar, but for chins.
when I was in Bible college, I rented the movie Re-Animator and showed it to my roommates.
Oh,
And,
no.
The one guy liked it so much that he got a pet iguana and named it Dr. Pretorius, after the main character in the movie.
Well, the main character is Dr. West.
Yeah.
The main bad guy.
That's Dr. Hill.
I'm talking about Beyond.
Oh, Beyond. Oh, okay.
Oh, from Beyond.
From
Okay.
Beyond. Gotcha. Anybody want watermelon?
Hey, it looks
I
exactly like
filled
the
up on
strawberry
collard greens
blueberry I just ate. We're eating crap.
Snacks.
We can edit this part out because no one gives a fuck.
Oh, no.
Anybody got any schlock do's and don'ts?
I got a schlock do for you. So I found this out from my buddy Dan, but apparently Paramount has released its B movies on a YouTube channel, streaming all of their shitty B movies, like Masters of the fucking Universe, the 1980s
And it's
version
free?
with Dolph Lundgren, totally free, streaming in high definition on YouTube.
All right.
You should go check that shit out because apparently Schlock has just fucking hit pay dirt from our drilling in the middle of the fucking desert of cinema.
I got a don't. Don't try to win friends the way Paul does by saying he hates Jesus on Facebook.
Did I miss
That's not
this?
what I said.
Did I miss something?
Oh God, that was hilarious.
There was a picture of Jesus flipping people off, and I cropped it, and it said, "Jesus hates you."
Okay.
So it was a smiling Jesus face. You know, like the typical one that you always see, and it just said, "Jesus hates you." And I posted it with like a picture of Huckabee on like my main header, and I thought it was hilarious. And then I get like all this like, we're praying for you. You know, that is a lie. Jesus doesn't hate you, Paul.
What was more outrageous?
And then like this relative that I've known for like, I mean, I literally watched her grow up since we've lived here. First, I didn't even know we were Facebook friends because she never, ever has contacted me on Facebook. Writes this kind of like little rant about how dare I post that and how offensive it was. And I'm like, this is the first time you've ever contacted me.
Jesus,
were you just amazed at
together.
how many Christian friends you had? You're like, wow.
You know it's a bad idea when even I had to message Paul and go, are you sure this was a good idea?
I thought the picture of Huckabee was going to offend people because it's him naked in a chair with like a...
I don't remember seeing Huckabee.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing the Jesus hates you thing. That was all that was on there when I looked at it.
And then, well, so I posted the picture of Obama eating a hot dog at a state fair.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, a hot dog that just happens to be between a boy's legs.
Well, it's like a guy's lower torso and his butt is like all like clenched.
I thought it was like they're making a sequel for Father's Day and Obama's a guest star.
And that pissed people off. I'm like, what are you talking about? We can't make fun of the fucking president? We can say nigga on our podcast, but we can't make fun of the president. Am I right, Joel?
Or Jesus. Yeah, I know. God, what's this nation coming to?
And in fact, I believe Craig was one of the people who was
I
offended.
totally made fun of you on that one. I think it was too easy.
Well, he nailed it. As soon as I posted that Jesus pic, he like messaged me. He's like, "Are you trying to like get people?
You're trying to piss
like,
off
it's not
everyone
that
you
bad.
know, Paul.
I edited the Jesus flipping you off part."
I also posted. I knew Alan was going to be the one person who was going to put a like to this. And of course that happened.
Oh, and so we saw Green Inferno last time.
We did.
Yeah.
Not Craig though.
No, I was absent.
I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good.
I don't know. I had mixed feelings because
I didn't like the ending.
If it had
the thing at the end of the credits, I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Do you really want me to like look forward to the next fucking chapter of this?
Or is it the end? Or is it?
What I didn't like was its tone because it tries to be really serious, and then all of a sudden there's like fart gags.
Yeah.
And let's get the villagers stoned by putting 1/8 of a gram of coke in a body because they've never been stoned before. So they're all gonna like eat the flesh with the marijuana in it and
Whatever,
get so
man.
high that we'll escape.
Movies need to go back to 80s camp. Like, you gotta fucking have that.
Well, you know what?
That's
If
what
the
makes
movie
it
was that
creepy.
from the get-go, I think I would have accepted it.
Yeah,
more.
it did change tones. Like, it really did change tones because you thought, wow, this is really serious. So these people, this is it. Icing on the cake. We're building it up. And bam, straight up cannibalism porn. That's exactly what
That's
I
what
came
I
here Green Inferno.
thought that's what I was going to get.
Yeah.
Well, we kind
Not-
of did at the beginning. That first death when they killed the guy.
Yeah, but then we got...
But
They're
then it was
stoned. I'm going to
diarrhea.
escape. Oh my god, they've got the munchies.
The guy jerking off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny. That was funny.
Some spoilers.
It was disturbing funny, so that's okay.
Yeah. Did he like had some explanation for why he was?
You got to
jerking
cope
off?
with shit. You got to cope with trauma.
I'm dealing with stress right
Yeah.
now. As he like
Otherwise
looks
you
him
go
straight in
nuts.
the
Yeah,
eyes.
he makes like full uninterrupted eye contact.
Tell me and Paul do it.
I have a schlock do Deathgasm.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this movie is so good.
Sequel to Death Spa.
No, it's like
Don't taint it.
It is nothing like Death Spa. You take
it's a
that back.
heavy metal horror film. And
Okay.
it's kind of a horror comedy. It is so funny.
Okay.
The gore is fantastic.
Where can we watch
it?
it,
Is so
Paul?
great. The writing's fantastic. I mean, I laughed out loud so many times during this thing.
Totally watch it. Where can we watch it?
It was on demand. Like,
Okay.
So I
Amazon?
got it from Comcast.
Comcast. Maybe
You can
Amazon's
get it
got
from
it.
Amazon, I'm
All
sure.
right.
It's like it just went in theaters and on VOD. So
Okay.
everyone that I know that has seen it has had really positive reactions to it. I guess the guy that worked on it was like the guy that did gore for some pretty major movies. That he's like the director.
Practical special effects dudes. Guillermo del Toro of zombie porn.
I don't really know exactly what he's done, but some pretty impressive stuff, and it was just really clever, great. I mean, one of the best comedy horror films I've seen in forever.
Awesome. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Don't McDonald's I know we kind of talked about this, but it probably won't make it on. McDonald's has breakfast all day. No McGriddles after 10:30 though. So what's the point?
How about just don't McDonald's?
Yeah.
No.
Paul, you missed the moral. You missed the message in my
What are you
story.
talking about? So that's a real kind of a bummer. That's all I got.
You know, you guys, I know I'm going to get railed for this, but I've been watching Scream Queens,
Oh.
What the hell
and
is
it's
that?
actually funny. I was afraid, this is that guy that did American Horror Story, the same guy that did
Okay.
Glee, and I stopped watching American Horror Story.
Because it got
mid-season.
stupid?
Well, because it became like fucking musical.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
Like
they did that
Jessica
with season
Lange would
3.
like start singing while dismembering a corpse or something, and it would just be like, why?
They went fucking to shit after season 1. So yeah, but Scream Queens though.
Scream Queens is really funny. It's got and there's no music thus far. 3 episodes.
Wow.
In. So I'm crossing my fingers.
I thought that I read that they were going to be doing some musical numbers.
Haven't seen one yet.
Okay.
And then I haven't watched the new American Horror Story yet with Lady Gaga because I just figure that even further cements how it's going to be musical.
Well, you watched
But
season
apparently-
4? Was season 4 shit too?
I stopped watching season 4 like halfway through.
Ugh.
But apparently the first episode was like so gross and so gory that like critics are like so offended by
There's
it.
an anal rape in it.
With like a knife dildo, right?
I don't
Wow.
know.
Yeah. So we all know that's on Gabe's agenda.
I might have to watch that now.
Did you say anal rape? Did you say knife
You
dildo?
wait.
Are
You
you
had
gonna
me
pull
at
your
anal.
wife into the room while you're watching it to make sure
Actually, she was the one who told me about it.
Oh. Ideas?
Let's start bringing both our interests into the bedroom.
Anal knife play? Yeah.
You know, we've been using this spork.
I like
dildo for so
anal.
long.
You like cutting yourself. Let's make it happen. Let's peanut butter and jelly this shit. Lurker Jeff, do you have any schlock talk do's or don'ts?
Lurker Jeff.
Talk into the microphone, please. That's fine.
If you're going to use anal knife play, make sure your lube has a coagulant in it. Otherwise, it gets really
I just want to say Jeff's fucking
over really
hilarious.
quick.
No, he is. Like we went out to eat when we saw the movie and stuff last weekend, or
Yeah,
when
that's
we did our
right.
last podcast, and he was dropping all these insults on me. Like
Who?
they're hilarious.
This guy can fucking diss the shit out of
So
you.
all we just need to like act like we're not recording,
Okay.
and then he'll be all over it.
Oh, there was something fucking hilarious that happened. Joel, I hope we don't take this. So I was making fun of Paul.
I know where this is going.
I was making fun of Paul, and I said that he would be he's so old, because Paul's going to be 50 next year.
Yeah, laugh it up.
He's so old that he's the kind of guy that would wonder who would win a fight between Dick Van Dyke and Andy Griffith. And so we were laughing about that. And then Joel, who's like 19, he goes,
19.
He goes, wait a minute, what was that show that Dick Van Dyke was on? And I said, you mean the Dick Van Dyke show? And we laughed a little bit. But then he goes, but what was the show that Andy Griffith was on?
So all day long, we were like, hey, what was the name of that Carol Burnett show?
What was that one show with the comedian? His last name was Seinfeld. I can't remember his first name.
Bob Newhart had a show, right? What was that called?
There
Anyway.
was this guy, Ed Sullivan, and he was on some kind of show. Was it General Hospital?
The Muppets. What show were they on?
Where are they from? Sesame Street, right? That's where they began. Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, it's
Joel's
raining in Portland.
IQ is like 12 points higher than everybody else's put together. And so we get very few chances to make fun of him. He's also fabulously good looking and grows a robust beard. So it was our one lonely chance to
Yes.
to make
Yes!
fun of Joel.
I feel better than you.
Everybody in here has a lovely beard except Gabe, which I don't know what the fuck that
It's
is.
scraggly. It doesn't.
Oh,
grow
you
in.
should see down below. He's done some
Yeah.
landscaping down there. There's topiary
Puberty
features.
never really left the basement in Gabe's department.
Are you
Unfortunately
trying to
true.
make it look like a giraffe just with a really small neck?
Yes.
Is that what he's doing down there?
I gotta say,
Looks like a decapitated giraffe.
I'm real. You would be. If I were you, I'd be offended by my puberties.
It looks like a groundhog sticking his head out of a door.
Because if maybe you had a little more testosterone above the belt, you also wouldn't have a woman's breasts.
Yes, that is true.
That's how he can tell if winter's starting. He just opens up his trousers. Oh, he went back in. 6 more months, people.
Make sure there's a lot of Don Dunlap posters around when he does that, so we get that winter over here.
It at least helps a little bit. Now that I found this Playboy spread from, I'm going to buy this magazine. I'm going to buy this magazine on eBay. It's a 1987 issue of Playboy. I'm going to get the Barbara Crampton.
You're kind of like going nuts with your spending, man.
Gabe, do you pay extra for non-sticky pages?
I'm going nuts with my spending.
I want it in mint condition.
Every time I'm around you, you're like, hey, check this out, Dr. Hump. I'm ordering this DVD right now. And then I'm like, hey, I saw this really crazy horror movie. And he's like, I'm ordering it right now. Did you get that?
I did, whether I haven't opened it
yeah,
yet.
Gabe, or it's a Gabe. I just got into this series. It's called Grey's Anatomy. I've got the box set on Blu-ray.
So, Gabe, what is with
Right
your
now,
obsession
you're
with
such an
women
impulsive
that you
buyer.
called mom? That you have this sexual attraction.
That's
to.
true. That's true. Well, so I figure it's because I was like 12 in 1985 when Re-Animator came out. I probably didn't see it until 90 or 91,
everything.
but it was just these were hot chicks when I was like entering my pseudo puberty.
His fucking compulsive masturbatory phase.
You let us know.
He's entering his I have no smooth sheets.
I'm in a state of arrested development. So.
I'm entering the if you walk in on me while I'm doing this, I'm going to beat you to death with my stiff sock. So anybody got anything
Your
else?
country gravy sock?
Country gravies. I want a T-shirt that just says "Country Gravy" on it.
Gabe's Country Gravy.
When Halo first came out, we used to get together.
Go get it on Etsy where you got your other shirts from.
I did. I got my Ichi. The killer
that's
shirt.
awesome.
It's an Etsy Ichi. I got
You know when it's like
easy.
open that one, it looks like Jabba the Hutt's face is on your stomach at that point.
Oh yeah.
It's spread, so yes.
When Halo first came out, I used to truck my system down to Salem to hook up and play death matches with these guys. And Jeff would always kill us, like, constantly.
With
it was
insults.
disgusting.
Jeff, who is a PC-only gamer, would play and whip our butts in Halo, multiplayer Halo.
But in the
To be
original...
fair, I did the same thing to Paul, and I only play PC as well. It's just you guys suck. It's
The bar is lower on console.
Well, we would have 8 people there. We had 8.
Yeah, we'd have some
4 on 4.
pretty big death matches. Anyways, the original Halo game would do this thing where it would create a character name for you, so it would be like Donut, and it would say "Death by Donut," and stuff like that. And we always thought that was hilarious. And I remember Jeff saying, "When I die, it's going to be death by country gravy. Country gravy's going to kill me."
What relationship did you have with Gabe at that point in time?
We worked together.
They were lovers.
It wasn't Gabe's country gravy.
I drink it straight from the
was
sock.
Just like Gabe used to make.
It was Jeff's country gravy. He could perform oral sex on himself. That's okay. Anything else, you guys?
I think we should end on that note.
Okay, sounds
Country
good to
Gravy's a
me.
good ending to me.